Hey everyone, what's going on? It's your boy Funny Chair, and back again with another video. I know it's been a while, but I think you guys are really gonna like this. I just struck gold. I, I don't know what else to say. I just completely struck gold. I found this website. It's called like abolishfascism.com, fascism, something like that. But oh my god. Okay, so apparently this here I'll probably show this up on the screen for you guys in a second, but apparently, according to this person here, Linux causes violence. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, if you use Linux, apparently you're going to become a school shooter, and you are going to just like become a mass like murderer. You're gonna be like homicide is it's all Linux. I'm sorry, it's all Linux. It's it's that little penguin. It's been behind the whole operation this whole time, guys. Linux causes violence. Oh my god, this is too good. All right, whatever. Let's just get into the article now. Enough making fun of the title. Let's go. Okay, so if your child uses Linux, they'll statistically be less successful socially. Linux is an operating system for neckbeards that don't have anything better to do than fix their systems after package upgrades. If you still don't think Linux is harmful to them, think of how much time wasted on fixing their computer could be spent on socializing or reading books. Um, okay, so I guess Linux is only for neckbeards, and they none of them have no lives because like definitely the only thing they do is fix their PC and go on Linux. That's the only thing they ever do. They never socialize. They never do anything like that. They just sit there on Linux and be neckbeards. They've never read a book. They've never socialized. None of them ever have friends. Yeah, Like I don't get it. How? Like it's so obvious that people that this is such a terrible generalization. People that use Linux are bad, I guess. How? Like, I guess we'll just keep reading. Alright, this next headline says Linux users are anti Semitic. Brian Lundu, something, a Jewish Linux YouTuber, open source speaker, and figurehead, has been criticized for putting his videos behind a paywall. For some reason, Linux users think everything in the Linux sphere should be free, yet most of them don't don't give anything back to the Linux community. You see, the thing is a lot of like I don't have Linux, so I can't really say, but what? Like, I guess a lot of them just think it's free, but like, I guess they just expect everything to be free. I highly doubt that. Like, if you have Linux, it's like Mac. In Windows, they're all just operating systems. How can it like cause violence? How does it this is this is terrible. Like this is so terrible. This article is horrible. What does this have to do with like causing violence? That's Yet most of them don't give anything back to the Linux community. Okay? Um all right. I'm not that smart, but I'm pretty sure I'm smart enough to understand that this is just blatantly wrong. Alright, next headline. Linux users are incels. It's already hard enough not to be rejected for using Windows or Android. It's significantly easier to get rejected for using Linux. If you think that it's good because they'll find a smart and loyal girl, then surprise, there's a very little woman using Linux. It's the ultimate neckbeard operating. Oh my god. Once again, what does this have to do with Linux being violent? Like, okay, this is a really terrible generalization as well. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't have a problem with Linux. Like, I have plenty of people. I know plenty of people that use Linux, and they are not neckbeards at all. Like, this is just so wrong. It's just not correct. None of this is correct. Here, let's read the picture, because it's even got a picture. If you use Linux, it's over. Do you ever see Chad using any other than the latest app? No. You know what? No. I'm not reading that. I'm not reading that. Alright, apparently Linux users are unfriendly. You can get roasted for anything. Using the wrong distro, using the wrong DE, using a DE instead of WM. I don't know what any of these are. Using the wrong screenshot software, using bloated software, using GUI software, anything. Okay, before we keep going, I just want to say this is not true. Like, this is not specifically to Linux. There are so many other operating systems. Like, what does this have to do with Linux? I use Windows, and I've taken a screenshot and then posted it on my Discord server. And I've definitely been made fun of a couple times for not like cropping out the top or whatever. But like, this isn't a Linux specific thing. You're alright. Let's keep reading. Oh, burp. Alright, this is why Linux users are such extreme bigoted fascists. If you don't have the same opinion as them, you're wrong. No, I just think that's Discord moderators, not Linux users. This is just blatantly wrong. Why does... Once again, like, I know I keep asking this question, but it works so well. How does this relate to the operating system itself? Like, if you look back up here, it specifically says Linux causes violence. Like, right there. It's really weird. So, let's just keep scrolling down this freaking hellhole. Alright, next up we got Linux communities lack diversity. I want to read this so bad. Linux communities are the majority... Why? Like, Linux communities are majority white, but for some reason they decided to censor the I in white. Like, what? Why? White is a word. Like, white is not a swear word.
Bruh.
Like, holy crap. And MXL, I don't even know what that is. I'm sure somebody in this comments will be like, actually that's, I don't know what it is. Make sure to like remind me what that is. I'm interested now. So the creator of Linux is a white Finnish, that thing, MXLE, I'm just gonna call it that, with anger issues. There have been several cases of him rejecting code submissions made by POC, which stands for People of Color. There have been efforts to fix that, like a code of conduct to the Linux project, but Linux users are much against them. How does this make Linux violent? Like, okay, I guess it's just a generalization that there are more white people than people of color. I guess. I sincerely doubt this. I sincerely doubt that, like, Linux in its entirety is racist. And I'm not saying that there aren't racist people on Linux. I bet there are, but still, it doesn't mean that Linux, the operating system, is completely racist. I can't anymore. This is so, like... This is sad. Like, there have been efforts to fix that. Like, okay? I'm sorry that there is a couple people on Linux that don't do that. Like, I'm all for, like, equality and stuff like that. Like, Black Lives Matter, I'm all for that, okay? But how does this relate to Linux? There is, like... Yes, there are people that don't feel the same way. You got it. Like, you can't just specifically blame Linux for this problem. There are so many more operating system and just generality, like, websites and stuff that are just racist. And, like, I think you need to accept that some people do not think the same way. Sure, it's wrong to treat other people of color a different way because of their skin color, But you gotta learn that some people think different and were taught different and stuff like that. This still doesn't condone racism. You should not be racist, but you just need to understand that some people think differently. And yeah, this is unscripted, by the way, so I have no clue what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say is that yes, there are racist people, and we try to fix that problem, right? But I just feel like that, like, you can't get mad at specifically this operating system for having racist people on it. This one in specific, it just makes no sense. Like, next part. Want more proof? Google for pictures of audiences at Linux conferences. Alright, let's do that. So, pictures of audiences at Linux conferences. Let's copy that. V. Alright, let's see. Images. Okay, yes, there are, okay. There are clearly a lot of white people here. But that does not mean that Linux is specifically racist. That's just a number. Like, okay, I guess more white people use Linux than black people. That doesn't make it racist. It just makes it, like, it's just a percentage. Please don't get mad at me if I say something. This is unscripted, but still, like, it's just stupid. Linux is not racist. This is kind of funny, though, listening to somebody rant about how an operating system is, like, racist. Think about that, you guys. Think about it. An operating system dedicated for people of any color, any race, to just use it because they want as much use of it as possible, right? They're not racist. It's just more white people decided that they wanted to use Linux than black people. That's just a percentage. It doesn't mean that it's racist. So, okay, death threats. Alright, this is where I guess the violence part comes in. Like, once again, if you scroll up to the top, it says Linux causes violence, not Linux is racist. You are trying to prove a different point and you're failing at it. Alright, let's see. Death threats. Lennart Pottering, I don't know. The creator of Systemed, I also don't know. A very popular and important Linux software has received death threats from Linux users just for the fact of creating systemd, I don't know what that is. There's just no justification for these attacks. Systemd is free and no one is forced to use it. Okay. You need to... You're just talking about this, like... You need to give some type of explanation. I guess? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this does not make Linux violent. It just makes some people really freaking stupid, and then the other people somewhat smart. Like, this is all just a percentage that they are taking the wrong way. It's still, like, racism and violence is not funny, guys, but this person is literally trying to, like, make Linux look like a bad operating system because there are people that would give death threats. And I get it, like, death threats are not something you want on an operating system, but still, that doesn't make the operating system violent. It just makes the people seem violent. This does not relate to Linux basically in any way, except for the fact that whatever this systemd thing is a big part of Linux. And they're not even explaining why. Like, I get it, death threats are not, you should not condone that, but you need to give us, like, some type of proof or something, and not just say that people are getting this. And also, you need to, like, okay, I guess they gave him death threats. Why? Why do they give him death threats? Just, I don't know. That's a pretty bad explanation. But, okay, still, let's keep going. Summary. Linux users are anti-Semitic, majority white, bigoted, fascist, unfriendly, death-threatening incels. If your child uses Linux, get to your local IT guy. to install Windows on their machine. Oh my god. Okay, so apparently all Linux users are anti-Semitic, white. Once again, guys, all the Linux users are white. I mean, it does say majority white, so I guess. But once again, I've never used Linux, so I can't really say on that one. But bigoted, fascist, unfriendly. Like, once again, did I tell you that I've known a couple people that have Linux and they are not violent? Yes, they are actually not unfriendly either. I know it sounds crazy, but there are nice people that use Linux. Death threatening. Okay, apparently, since 3 people, whatever, decided to send death threats to this person, which is still a big deal, by the way. You should not do that. But I don't see how this makes all Linux users death threatening. If your child uses Linux, get to your local it's not going to change anything. If your child is on something that like could spread racism, it's going to be the same on Windows and Mac and stuff like that. Changing the operating system won't help you. Like, it's just okay, guys. Anyways, that was the end of the article. Hope you enjoyed the video. And apparently Linux causes violence. This is such a joke, guys. Anyways, make sure to subscribe if you want more videos coming at you. I just finished building my new PC, so I should be able to pump out content a bit faster. But yeah, this has been your boy, and I will see you all in the next video. See you later.